right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Book of Boba Fett, episode 7.
The finale, I do believe, for this season.
It is, yes.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
With regards to a finale, I feel like, if anything, it's going to be the episode that's going to be the most complete.
Sure.
Where they're just going to have everything that they've been, kind of focusing on in these disparate little pieces all just kind of be in one super episode. Cause
yeah,
it's a super long episode.
Yeah,
that's
full hour.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. And, there's probably going to be tons of fighting and stuff, because if this is the finale, then they're probably going to be dealing with the Pikes, and they haven't really started fighting the Pikes yet, so... Yeah. We've got a lot of material to go through.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, having the Pike situation resolve is not necessarily important within this episode. I think it would be interesting to see more so how Boba brings all these pieces basically onto the table. And we saw in the last episode what their general like setup strategy is. But we didn't actually get their plan of what they're going to initially do here.
And Cad Bane kind of sent a message, messed things up a bit for him. So, we'll have to see how things go there.
No, but Cad Bane didn't. He's in Mos Pelgo. They would never have actually known anything about that.
No, right.
Yeah.
But as far as them recruiting additional soldiers, that will either be something that is very helpful or something that will be a detriment to getting the ground troops that they need to deal with the army that is the Pikes. So
yeah, for sure. I think that I was meaning more that just he's on a different side of the planet in terms of what he's done.
Okay.
This would not have necessarily gone back to to Boba. Right?
Gotcha. We'll have to see.
Yeah. If anything, Cad Bane being involved in the final showdown is just another character that's
He is someone that the Pikes have at their disposal. And I'm sure he will complicate things even more than he already has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And having then, this little Grogu, Luke situation here as well, I feel like that question gets answered in another show. But again, it's Book of Boba Fett. It's been a little bit weird. It's been a little bit different. It's been kind of a smorgasbord of everything Star Wars up until, the shows have started being made. So, yeah, let's have just a fiesta. let's have a chaotic, confrontation of sorts.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Let Marshal Vant and the people of Mos Pelgo.
Freetown is its name now.
Let the people of Freetown know they have my word.
You can tell Cobb Vant himself when he arrives here with the reinforcements.
Well, if he does not, we are doomed. Our skill is no match for the Syndicate numbers. We must buy time until they arrive. The palace offers greater protection.
If you want to abandon Mos Espa and hide in your fortress, go ahead. We're staying. The people who live here need our protection.
I think the best chance you have against any kind of attack. Oh, shit. There he is.
Oh, shit.
Have to respond in some way.
Oh, he's not off planet.
I should.
Yeah.
You returned so quickly. Was your venture successful?
You won't have to worry about Freetown.
Does Fett have any other resources to call upon? He used to live among a Tusken Raider tribe in the desert.
They no longer exist.
Facial
so
expressions.
When will this all be over?
That all depends on how much your two stomachs can bear.
No more explosives. I didn't sign off on bombing Garsa's sanctuary.
It's an X-Wing! What's an X-Wing doing here?
I think it's like police and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, it's underneath the clock.
Well, look who it is! Aw, did they teach you how to fly an X-Wing already?
The truce you negotiated with the other families of Mos Espa will ensure that they will remain neutral and allow us to gain the upper hand by surprising the arriving soldiers.
There is someone here to see you.
I thought you said nobody could sneak up on us.
Oh, okay. He's just coming here by himself.
Yeah.
People have been wanting to see this showdown for a long time.
You're looking for a job, you're late.
I've already got a job.
Nice.
I'm here to negotiate on behalf of the Pike Syndicate. If that's not the quack to call in the stifling slimy.
Clear out. Tell your bosses we know they're outnumbered.
I wouldn't be counting on the people of Freetown to be coming anytime soon.
The fact that he's saying...
Before you get any ideas, I've got backshooters too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let the spice move through Mos Espa, and all this can be avoided.
I will only negotiate with the head of the Pike Syndicate.
You mean the one that massacred your Tuscan family and blamed it on a speed bike gang?
Oh. Oh, that's fun.
Nice. He's pissing him off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's do this. Right here. Right now.
We need to adjust. You'll have your moment.
Listen to her. Yeah.
Tell your client, negotiations are terminated.
You're going soft in your old age.
We all do.
Damn it. Yeah. All the other families. Oh, shit.
Yep.
They're not rating neutral.
Nope.
Here we
Hell
go.
no.
Oh,
Shit. Oh, that was a full-on axe.
my buddies.
Oh, shit.
Opposition.
Keep your heads down.
She's here.
Yep.
I suppose you'll be heading out. I'm not. You should.
What if Boba
It's
died?
against the creed. I gave you my word.
Right.
The way I see it, we have two choices. We wait until they get into position and launch a siege on their terms. Or we rush out there, catch them unaware, then we can escape to your ship at the palace.
I can't abandon Mos Espa. These people are counting on me.
Okay then. We'll both die in the name of honor.
You may not know this about me. In fact, how could you? Except perhaps what vestiges remain of my accent, but I was educated on Coruscant. I specialized in civic council negotiations. Now, if you would feel confident empowering me to negotiate on your behalf, I'm fairly certain we would be granted passage off-world with, at worst, some theatrical, symbolic, groveling gestures and an exchange of funds.
And
Salutations! Salutations! I am unarmed!
Yeah.
But for this tablet bearing the terms of surrender. Perhaps we should discuss what you'd be willing to Following offer. Nothing. You will leave this planet and your spice trade. If you refuse these terms, the arid sands of Tatooine will once again flourish with flowered fields fertilized with the bodies of your dead. His words.
Not mine.
yeah, all right, yeah, let's go, let's
That is a
go.
distraction. Cool.
Uh-huh. Really, really
Just
good
jetpack combat.
distraction.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the first hit. There's the first hit. That's fine, that's fine. Whoa! Yeah! All right. Oh, there's too many now. Jesus. That's crazy. Yeah, this one's just lining up a shot. Going for their legs or something. Oh, yes!
They just keep coming.
For some reason, I have Krea's words about the fall of Mandalore, you know?
Uh-huh. Band? Yeah.
No way, they're still coming! Yeah, let's go!
Because if you have someone say they're not coming, that means they're coming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this fight's over. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I'm sorry about the Marshal.
Gunned him down in cold blood.
Oh.
You didn't have to come here.
Yes, we did.
No.
The planet deserves better.
That's okay. Presented.
No way.
Ah,
no
what?
way.
What?
How? How?
What? What? He's just taking the hits.
Yep.
Look at his bloody body. God, this guy's a tank.
I owe you a nice long soak in the back to tank when this is done.
They're falling back.
The ship just flies. Oh,
Droids.
shit. Oh, shit.
That makes sense. Yep.
I wouldn't celebrate yet. We got problems.
They have a cave troll.
That's military hardware.
What if we took destroyer droids and made them siege weapons? Yeah, you need ships at this point. Like R2 to just fly the X-Wing over and blow them up or something.
Or you need a little guy to jump inside the energy shield with a lightsaber. Oh! Oh, yeah! Oh, okay, okay. Okay, yep. You got
Run.
your aggro.
It actually looks like he was starting to do something.
Oh.
What? Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That was burning him. Yeah, look, his fur got singed off.
Yeah.
That was a cool detail there.
Oh my god.
Turn around! What? Turn around!
Don't you hear the gunshots?
Yeah. That is a lot more maneuverable than those things, so...
And it's gonna be just faster.
Yeah.
Can this thing go any faster?
Go faster, you bucket of bolts!
If we fall back any further, we'll be cornered with no cover.
Oh, this is the
Gotcha.
last spot we can retreat to.
We fight. Scared. Hold the line for Weequay. I'll head up there and snipe town.
Let me see that thing. That? Tanti, we need a cycler.
Yeah, we need a real gun.
Okay.
Isn't that a Tusken Raider rifle?
Look who's here!
He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I wanted to... Oh!
Okay, little guy. I'm
All right.
happy to see you too. But, we're in a bit of a bind here right now.
He's like, but, in the X-Wing, there's a lightsaber. He only let R2-D2 have it, but... Oh no. Well.
Yep, dad catch.
Yeah, it's such a dad moment there. Let's go.
Yep. So how did it get out? Like, who...
The Beast Trainer.
Ah, yes. Nice. Nice.
Ah.
Cool. Oh yeah, something physical and slow.
Whoa! Whoa!
Just hope it doesn't hit that Rancor, because otherwise it is dead.
Dang!
Okay.
He's pushing back. Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
All right.
Yeah, you just get inside, and there we go.
Okay. Yeah, you took out one, but I don't think Rancor is going to be good to fight another. Oh. I'll finish him, Daddy.
This is something we've seen before.
Wow. He just wanted a toy.
He was just ripping something out of it.
Yeah.
What? Respect the alpha.
Yeah.
Do it.
Alright. He only works solo. Only after literally everyone else has been defeated does he show up.
I've known you a long time, Boba. One thing I can't figure. What's your angle?
This is my city. These are my people. I will not abandon them.
Now's about the time you jet off to your Bacta tank.
This is my city!
This isn't the first time I beat you out on a job.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it. Look out for yourself. Anything else is weakness.
Whoa! Oh, okay.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa!
Nice.
Oh!
I knew you were a killer.
Oh, shit. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Cool.
Ow. He's like, you shouldn't have done that.
How to train your Rancor.
Cast calm emotions.
Yep. Oh.
You can't just cut and run. We lost soldiers too.
We had a deal.
Our deal was that Tatooine was going to be a hospitable place to do business.
Turn. Oh, yeah. After all, they broke the deal. Didn't work.
Oh, no, it is her. Okay. Actually resolved it, like, really well.
Why does it have to be the right arm?
You should take a nice soak in the Bacta tank.
It's being used.
Yeah, for a Wookiee.
Yep.
We are not suited for this.
Nope. I could have told you that.
Not us. Then who?
Hey.
What's up?
I love the theme slowly building in the background.
So the Wookiee gets a melanowida?
Chrysanthemum, you want to share?
Yeah.
All right. But this is the last time.
Wow.
It's a waste of fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was cute. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, I knew there'd be an end credit scene. Of course.
Yeah. Because Chrysanthemum wasn't in the Bacta tank.
Yeah.
Oh.
Van. Cool.
Ah.
Nice. Okay. like it.
All right.
Okay. All right, that's the finale. That's the finale.
Yep, it had a shit ton of action.
Yeah, this is a really incredible action episode. A lot of things basically boiled down to, hey, everything is going wrong. Everything went wrong. Your ideas of honor, Boba, are not shared by many.
Nope.
In fact, they're shared by extreme few.
Yeah,
and
even the people that follow you are more following you to see if it'll work than because they hold to the same ideals.
Well, some of them are following because they basically think that they'll actually like have a difference here in Mos Espa.
Yeah.
And I think the coolest kind of motivation in that regard is that if Boba's goal is I'm going to build a new family here to replace the one I lost.
Right.
I lost one that took me in that they meant a lot to me. And they inform his motivation through the rest of the show. That's why we spent so much time with the Tuskens here. So that when Cad Bane, the bounty hunter, the mercenary, just goes, I can't figure out your angle.
Yeah, what's the deal? You're soft. He's
thinking like, clearly he's pulling one over on everybody here.
Right. Like you had more guts as a kid. What's
right. What
changed? Yeah.
And it's the idea that, well, Boba nearly died. He had a near horrific death.
Oh yeah,
that probably shook him to
by
his
a Sarlacc.
core.
That's probably one of the worst ways to go.
It shook him to his core, definitely. But then the idea that once getting out, he needed the Tuskens to survive again.
Right.
So he almost became a new person.
Right. He was not strong enough at that point to truly be independent because he was very much dependent on their help in order to survive. So maybe that philosophy isn't necessarily the best one because he now was able to experience what it's like being, truly helpless in a way.
Yeah. And yet, because he chose to be dependent on a lot of these people, or dependent on, Din or Chrysanthemum or Fennec, it led to basically a power of friendship happy ending here that was for those that you kind of just won the luck of the draw on. And in some ways, this is the part where I feel like the finale kind of falls flat for me, is that there wasn't really necessarily an arc here. The part that I feel like is really rough is that I want to be sold on the character of Boba Fett. And the part that I feel like they did was they're like, oh, at the end, when it comes down to it, Boba, you can't just focus on the one philosophy. You need to hold that warrior's wrath in there. That bit of rage, that bit of power, and that bit of a murderer, if you will, in there for when you come up against a Cad Bane, where no, it's just cold, simple. It's gonna kill
business,
you.
Yeah.
And you would not have gotten out of this if you do not get really lucky.
And then also had the teaching of the Tuskens, which I thought that was a nice touch.
That was my favorite part, was that he beat them with the Tusken gaffy stick, and it was his, of course, and it's one of the things in his arsenal. So of course Boba has to use his entire arsenal,
but at the same time, it's one of those things of like looking at the season as a whole. Do I feel like the time with the Tuskens was like worth it necessarily?
Well, yeah, it's more the weird thing of like, if you want to focus on the Tuskens, make the whole show about that.
Right.
If you want to focus on this, make the whole show about that.
And given
I feel like this is just a thing where Boba didn't really grow necessarily.
Right. And even the whole thing of the moment with Cad Bane and everything, I feel like in order to have that be like a character arc progression point or conclusion point or whatever, that's something where we need to read a lot into something that doesn't really have much there. Now, not to say that I don't think that it's poignant that he beat Cad Bane with the gaffy stick and everything,
and
right?
By killing him.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But at the same time, that's it didn't feel like there was a lot building up to that where it felt like that was going to be the end that we were like, yes, of course this makes sense, right? It was more like, oh, that's a fun way to do things, right?
It's more like a thing that reminded us in some ways that I could get immersed in the conflict, because suddenly Boba killing people was on the table, and I was actually feeling like that was pulling me out of the story, because there were times when I felt like we were almost feeling like Disney's hand of like, we can't actually have violence.
Let's put some Mickey Mouse ears on people, because that's what's going on. Because
we need this to be less, bad guy or good guy doing bad things kind of thing.
Right.
And so now, okay, but here this specifically, this is different. Okay, cool. I think that in general, this was a good, solid finale. We got basically every piece that had been introduced in the season brought into play here, which is cool.
Uh-huh.
I feel like this is kind of one of those things that I mentioned to Jacob. I mentioned Jacob in the beginning before the discussion. I was a little bit worried about the idea that this finale was gonna feel like it like was made as like a set piece finale, and then we needed to show all the pieces throughout the season that would be involved in this finale set piece, but the build up to it wouldn't feel earned or justified. I feel like the most like earned thing was actually the idea that Boba got backstabbed here. Like all of the things that he had relied on, the families, they betrayed him.
Yep, because of course they did.
Yeah, he was up against an organization. Of course, they found a way to make a deal that seemed enticing.
Well, and also, just because, like, okay, you make a good promise and a potentially good deal, right? Yes, they would probably benefit more if you won and they sided with you.
But they don't have to choose one or the other. But they can have both deals operating. If whoever wins,
yeah.
That's the deal that they chose.
Yep, that is absolutely true. But then also on top of that, the likelihood of you winning is not high. Right. So, you know, that they're not going to take that action, right?
Yeah. And also, again, Boba, you got lucky. I mean, really lucky. The amount of things that basically aligned for you to not die, for all your friends to not die.
It's something where on the one hand, the sort of exploding set piece that we got this episode was very entertaining, visually engaging and stuff, and I loved the choices of the kinds of things that they were going to have happen.
The droids were inspired.
The droids were, that was fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
You know, the way
provide that escalation.
Yep. The way they used the Rancor to have it come in to beat the droids, and then, you know, like, so much yes.
The fact that almost all the combatants involved fight very differently also created really cool stuff. Now, of course, we have literally nothing that we care about with the antagonists here.
We have nothing that we care about with the antagonists, and not really anything we care about with the protagonists. And there was, I believe, no consequences from any of the action that happened.
Yep, exactly. Chrysanthemum was actually the one I care about the most because of his design.
Right. Yeah, I care about him because of the design, and there were a couple points where it's like...
Yeah, and there are a couple points where maybe we thought Boba could die.
Maybe. Yes, maybe. Like, Book of Boba Fett, that's the, direction we're going to take it, right? Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, no, come on, But like, the whole idea... Because, okay, you can have, impossible odds and things set up and whatnot, but if you don't make it so that those impossible odds really feel like they're resolved in a satisfying way, then you won't believe them, right? The fact that Chrysanthemum was caught by himself by a shit ton of Trandoshans, hey, I love that he was kicking their asses at the beginning, but the fact that they then swarmed him, got him on the ground, and there were like 8 of them with blades and shit, and he didn't have his weapon.
And we just cut to another scene.
And somehow he survived, and then he's okay. Like, what was the point of that scene then?
Little did we know that in the books or something, he can use the Force.
Right. Or the whole thing of the droid following the mods and the other people, right? And it's shooting, and it's just shooting the ground. Why? It's something where it's like, okay, so now this droid is just a piece of crap, right? Like, it can't shoot anything. Those characters, most of them aren't even named. You can kill off a lot of them and still not effectively have any of the ones you really want to have around die. The organization can still be there, Or the whole thing of like, Cobb Vanth, he's not coming. Okay, well, we know he's not dead because that there's...
Well, they said they shot it in such a way that he wouldn't have actually died.
Right, he got shot once, and then the other people went and started giving him medical attention.
Yeah, but the deputy was the one that got shot like 5 times.
Right, exactly. Which also is something that can make Cad Bane seem less serious, because it's like, okay, how would he accidentally just not die?
And to be fair, he was right. He hit him with a kill shot.
Right.
In that Vanth never showed up.
Yep, which I appreciated. I definitely appreciated.
I want to go out on the limb and say the reason why Vanth is going to survive is because he gets modded.
Right.
Not because he only shot him once.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then you have the whole thing of like, are the people going to show up? I like the fact that they show up as like the people rallying behind, Boba and all that stuff. But the fact that you basically have Cad Bane get reduced to an exposition character to show up and basically just be like, they're not coming. We know they're coming. Why are you like?
I want to say I think there was an actual chance that they wouldn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once they started being about how they wouldn't come, but also weirdly enough, I don't know. Bane wasn't my exposition issue.
Oh yeah.
It was Fennec who was just like, this is the plan. This is the way we've assembled things. This is the way it's going. You don't actually need to tell us that.
See,
you could literally just show shots of your different groups with the 3 districts because you've race coordinated the specific ones, you know, by being like, specific Star Wars species are in certain ones. And it's like, okay, well then just show shots. And then you're like, all right, that's cool. And you could just have them be like, okay, if they show up, we'll let you know. It's like, yep.
Right.
There you go. Done. Yep. I just solved the whole thing and made it like 10 times faster.
And if you're going to set up a plan, right, and you're being shown the details, that's because the plan is going to go wrong in some way, right? Mm-hmm. But ideally, you want there to be an actual reason for the plan to be there in the first place, right? Otherwise, like, because since they got so thoroughly beaten strategically of like, oh, they got betrayed and all of this stuff, and yet everyone got out of it okay, what was the point of having the plan and stopping the pikes that were going to be the reinforcements and stuff? Like, there were so many pikes here, it's like, at the beginning, they mentioned a specific number. Oh, there's at least 20 of them, right? No, there were like 100 pikes in this episode, right?
Yeah.
And we never dealt with the idea of more coming. Now, maybe it's because they were able to sneakily get in or something like that because they were tricking them the whole time. Or the other people were helping them.
Yeah, because the other houses basically allowed them through. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
My thing is more just like, this fight was spectacular in terms of its spectacle. I literally cared about 2 moments, really.
Chrysanthemum getting shot?
Well, Chrysanthemum, just because he's a cool design. I was like, okay, they're not going to kill him, but they could.
Right.
Okay. And then Boba and Cad Bane's little showdown, because on some level, I thought that they might actually resolve this story in a closed way, and that Boba's desire for honor and what have you was what got him killed here. It was a mistake that he made. And then he would either get sent to the Bacta tank, and it would be the thing of, okay, get sent back to your Bacta tank. And I'm like, oh, dang. Boba might be put on ice, essentially, for a long time. Or it's a thing of where he basically says, I beat you. Now, maybe, reconsider that honor thing, and I will give you what true bounty hunter's honor is, from one killer to another.
Sure, yeah.
And then he just walks away. And just disrespects him, basically.
Okay.
That doesn't make as much sense, I would say, for Cad Bane.
Yeah.
But also not just, killing him from like,
It's funny because like, I understand the desire to have killing kept to a minimum because Disney brand and everything, but at the same time, you're going to be having your characters slaughtering enemies in droves. Why does it change when it's a named character? I get from the storytelling perspective if you don't want characters to actually be killed off or whatever, but like, I don't know. And then on top of that, where was Cad Bane throughout the rest of the fight? Why did he wait until literally the very end to do, like, I love the Wild West aesthetic of the 2 gunslingers squaring off, right?
And him, like, torching the Rancor to show that he's not scared of it.
Right, he's not scared. Yeah, that was great. And it was a clever way to get rid of the Rancor so it could be just the 2 of them.
And it'd be Wild running about and stuff.
But can you imagine how much more exciting and terrifying it would be if, while at the same time you have these 2 death droids going around wrecking shit, you also just have Cad Bane
on the roofs.
Yeah, Cad Bane on the roofs. Like, then, holy shit, that would really feel terrifying, because then it's not just here's these droids that we can outmaneuver and things like that. It's, oh god, what are we going to do about this guy? And yet we can't engage him directly because there are droids blowing shit up.
I honestly think it's you can only write one group against one group at a time. That's why Fennec was sent off, even though she would have been one of the most useful things here. And then, of course, they didn't calculate the fact that this time, unlike the Rancor, which can teleport here, Fennec can't teleport to there in time to actually have it mean anything. So
and then like also there was something that I was really excited for and looking forward to with the idea of like these people teaming up is let's have the moment where the badass squad that's super small goes up against like some much larger enemy on like some crazy tactical mission, of sabotage, and just kicks ass, right?
Yeah.
I would have loved that. The idea of them going to stop the ships as they were coming in, that would have been hype as hell, right? But we didn't get it, right? Instead, it's like, okay, we're gonna sit in this random cantina that looks shockingly similar to the cantina from season 1 finale of Mandalorian, because okay, we want to defend the people, that's cool, but then the mods didn't even stick around in the town anyways, and they were the ones who was most.
Yeah, and also this is just a tough thing to buy again. It's the idea that they got the little hero worship scene at the end later where they're like, here's a fruit thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that's cute, but I really feel like this show kind of was a little bit of a victim of mixed vision. I can't tell exactly what the reason was for this story to happen other than to reignite this area of the Star Wars universe with that fringe type which kind of element. Which
is something that I always want more of from Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. And that's interesting. We had Hutts. We had a Wookiee.
Yep.
Well, we had a Wookiee that wasn't, like Chewbacca that was like, oh, I'm a good Wookiee. It's like, no, this Wookiee is terrifying.
This Wookiee fucks,
Yeah, we have Fennec, who's a really interesting character potentially as well. Boba as well. Yep. We've got mods showing the technological difference in Star Wars across different areas where it's like, oh no, this is some scuffed mods that are there just because they're just trying to survive.
Right.
Then you've got Mando, Din, coming in here and being like, I owe you one. But I'm not going to do, too much. I'll take down a droid.
Right.
Yeah. Ultimately, it came down to the fact that the families that betrayed them weren't really as invested in this whole thing. Like we didn't see really them commit too much.
They did the one betrayal thing, and then that was basically it.
Which probably allowed all the Pikes through.
Yeah, and which granted makes sense because they're not. They're going to help the Pikes, but they're not going to die for the Pikes.
Not going to die for the Pikes.
They're just doing a solid for them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you 30? Yeah, just walk right through. Go for it. Yeah. In fact, I loved the idea, and this is a really cool way it was shot. I actually really love this because they have so many extras sometimes on the streets where they just had them slowly start maneuvering in different ways. Like when Chrysanthemum got surrounded, I felt the terror.
Like, and that was one of the reasons why I was so upset that like nothing came of it, because it was like that was terrifying, right?
That was actually terrifying.
Yeah.
And it I hate to make this comparison here, but I feel like sometimes people who see Star Wars fans critiquing something because it just doesn't make sense are like, but you have the Force or something, it doesn't make sense. I'm like let's not
internal consistency.
Yeah, internal consistency. But you know what this scene reminded me of?
What?
Game of Thrones.
Yep, I didn't want to be the first one to say it.
When Brienne of Tarth gets swarmed by zombies, and then we just cut away, and then suddenly she's fine again.
Yeah.
Like she's swarmed. She's actually swarmed like all over. This was the exact same kind of thing of like
quick travel, stakes in combat that don't mean anything. Yeah, and
really
I didn't want to be the first one to say it.
Strategic tactical choices.
Like
I honestly think the one part here that was probably the weirdest also is the idea that given we know that the Pikes are this problem here.
Yeah.
And Boba is this force, if you will. And he has this ship, right?
Yeah.
Why did he never just go straight to any of their installments, locations, or what have you?
Yep.
And just be like, I will blow you up. Basically,
I was straight up thinking that one of the ways that they would attack the ships when they would come in is that it's like, fine, you've got these transports. Those sound slow and not very maneuverable.
Those aren't the Pikes transports. Those are Tatooine general transports.
Well, okay, sure. And because of that, they're not going to attack civilians, I guess.
Yeah,
all right,
no,
sure.
No,
but also droids, air power, maybe that, like the Rancor was cool and everything. So I love that, right? But it's like these ships do have weapons that are very effective. And you know that these fights are going to be happening, so why not?
So
just
you have no problem with killing the Pikes,
right?
And I get I don't want to destroy Mos Espa, but it feels to me, like this set piece,
and
this episode in terms of what you wanted as a finale, was maybe thought up without as much idea as to how we would get here.
Let's see, they had the direwolf budget and they had the dragon budget, and they couldn't have both at the same time.
Don't do that. Don't do that here. No. This story at the very least has like,
it has hella budget.
It has, well, not only hella budget, but also like it has a lot of heart put into it.
Yes, absolutely.
And Game of Thrones did as well. But the idea is that it's hard to be immersed in your story when your characters that you're setting up aren't given enough time to be characters.
Right.
And Boba was given enough time. But the actual choice of where you chose to focus then him as a character, like in general, I just couldn't really get with. So I was really hoping that this episode would do that, and it didn't. So I'm not hopeful about there being future seasons of this. And I think almost maybe Disney doesn't think there was as well. That's why it had so much that was used to market The Mandalorian continuing.
Right.
We'll see.
We will.
But hey, I have no issue with like these characters being, recurring, Tatooine occupants. That's exciting.
Yep.
The Star Wars universe is getting bigger, and in some ways, it keeps having like little opportunities for, little cameo crossovers, little cinematic universe kind of stuff. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
And not everything needs to like be constantly blowing us away or whatever in every aspect, right? There were a lot of things in this episode that I loved. Even the little things like the ship, the spaceport, lady and the major domo, right? Like that was great.
That was adorable.
That was
funny.
so
like,
cute.
Yeah.
I loved it, right? That was awesome. I am actually excited to see those characters continue to interact in some form or other, and regardless of which show it's in, right?
Yeah, even
because why not?
Even if they only have like one line together at any point. Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah,
it was also almost a setup. They almost set up the gag in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
by the one Pike calling him Tailhead.
Right, exactly.
And then he's like, oh, "Wow, yeah, nice sobriquet, And it's just like, right, yes, yep. the racist Pike, yes, exactly." And then she's like, ooh,
yeah,
hey, like head tails or something like that. And she she gave him some endearing nickname about how like cute
I like
his
your
look
head
was.
tails.
Yeah, or something. And then he was like, oh.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
No, that was wonderful. I'm impressed. Filoni, you let them kill Cad Bane.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
I think that's something that I just have to applaud. I have a lot of attachment to him from a cool factor, but in terms of like where his stories were the most interesting, I would say like you did plenty of those already to where like that'd be the equivalent of bringing in IG-88,
Sure.
And being like, hey, IG-88 is going to be used by the Pikes here, and IG-88's going to lose,
Right.
There's many ways you could, not have a droid die or what have you, but the fact that Cad Bane was not the one in the back to tank at the end.
Right. Also, I mentioned it in the reaction, but I want to mention it again here because this really did impress me.
Yeah.
The facial expressions on Cad Bane, I loved them. They were super expressive, and considering that like we haven't really had too much of a like main character alien in Star Wars where we actually get to see close-ups of how they emote and everything.
Non-CG too.
Non-CG, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that makes me very excited for future Star Wars stuff and the way that they can just have people that, aren't just humans and things like that.
Chrysanthemum is, I would say, a great example of that.
Right, right. But it's a lot harder to show like detailed expressions underneath a bunch of fur and everything, right? They still did a good job.
They did a pretty good job. Yeah. I think if anything, they had just more practice with a Wookiee because of, Chewbacca. But I think that having the Ahsoka show clearly set up to have Thrawn in it, that's going to be one of those examples where, to be fair, he's kind of just a blue human with
black hair and red eyes. Yeah.
But I digress. Point is, this show is really, really impressive in terms of what kind of effort they're putting into making it feel like a spectacle of like Star Wars. But I also feel like for future shows, I know no one cares about my opinion or anything like this. I just feel like I'm speaking for some core fans here. Please, the thing that was so wonderful about The Mandalorian was we could tell that you guys had a vision and you stuck with it. This show felt like it had a vision in the beginning with the Tusken stuff. And it was different. And the marketing did not, I would say, reinforce that.
Nope.
But if anything, if we had just removed, like, if I just hadn't watched any of the trailers and I'd gone in with just the Tusken stuff, and that was where the story focused on, was him catching up to the present with, then end up doing stuff with Fennec, and then struggling to come to terms with the rebirth of who he is in the midst of this, lawless, crazy environment. And it was focused on Boba, like, as a character. I really feel like you could have had something here. I feel like in some ways, looking back now, I actually respect the Tusken stuff even more because of how singular in vision it was. It felt consistent. It felt like it made sense as a transition from the Sarlacc pit to have him then go through the rebirthing process. And it was slow. It was a bit tricky, but I feel like maybe there's a lesson to be learned here in differences between this and The Mandalorian. And you don't need to make The Mandalorian again.
Right.
I don't feel like The Mandalorian is not necessarily what people were wanting necessarily. So like obviously I'm sure there's going to be people that are not having good faith criticisms or what have you. But I feel like this one is just, hey, commit to a vision. If you're going to do a mini series, it's even better for this because, you can very much tell
do the one thing.
This doesn't need to be a multi-season, series.
Right. It doesn't need to be a sprawling epic.
Right. You can tell a really good personal story here. But ultimately, Star Wars is about characters. It's about those personalities, those characters coming together and overcoming whatever they're overcoming.
Right.
And I've said my piece.
Yeah. But again, for all of the, and I just want to make sure that I bring this up at the end, for all of the complaints that I have from this episode and this show, the things that we got from it that I liked, I really liked.
Yeah. And they're things we could really only get in a Star Wars TV show.
Yep.
In some ways, that's the thing that makes me still hopeful, is that Star Wars TV is the best marriage like any Star Wars fan could ask for.
Yep.
Because live action Star Wars TV allows you to tell any kind of story you want, and it can be as long or as short as it needs to be.
Yep.
And there's no real limits other than the creative, just, desires of the people that are leading this stuff there. And a lot of the people involved there, I feel like they have really good ideas. I love actually the quieter moments in the Book of Boba Fett, like the episode that Bryce Dallas Howard did, and the little stuff with building the Starfighter.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is that glorious fan service? Yes.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
is actually the quiet little banter stuff also really just warm and entertaining?
Here's something as just a little point. Yeah. The Starfighter building scene, and that was, a large chunk of an episode.
Yeah.
That did not require it to be Din.
No.
Yes, we care about Din a lot because of the Mandalorian, so that's extra sprinkles basically, right? But you could have just as easily had that be Boba, and I would have been 100% on board with it, right? And that could have been a great way to maybe characterize Boba. Now, Boba already has a ship and everything, right?
But the point of having Boba focus on a project that he's building or what have you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It lets us get to know the person, But I'm still really glad we watched this show because
me too. If anything, I'm more excited now for the shows where I would say Filoni is a little bit more in charge specifically. So the Ahsoka show.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
The Kenobi show is going to be coming out. What are some of the other ones that I'm really excited for? The Acolyte seems really cool. I feel like there's a couple that are getting pushed back a bit because of recasting and then different teams working on it and stuff. But the Mandalorian season 3,
that's gonna be awesome.
There's a lot of cool things they can do with that. Yep. Basically, that hey, Grogu chose Din.
Yep.
Not have the saber.
Nope.
I was with a lot of people that had this third option theory where it's actually a thing where Luke is just wanting to make sure that Grogu has like the right view on this, and he's not actually saying you must choose attachments or, you know, Jedi. That's not the thing he was saying. But now at this point, I'm like, oh wait, no, this is Luke's failing.
Yeah,
he made him choose here, and of course Grogu chose,
right?
You know, his attachments.
Because of course he would.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
So Luke's gonna have to go on his own journey.
Yep.
And I'm like that the story is basically saying, don't worry, now that Luke's, you know, been touched upon, he's there. He's not been tarnished in any way.
Right. But at the same time, he's not going to overtake the rest of the series, you know?
Right. So basically, we don't have to have Luke in our Mandalorian show in order to have Grogu in it.
Exactly.
Yes. So cool. Let's have Grogu be the first Mandalorian foundling in, you know, a decade or
hell yeah,
20 years
with his Beskar chainmail.
Yeah. It was so sweet.
I was kind of terrified that they were gonna pull some scare. Not that like I would be scared, but like didn't be scared of like Grogu getting shot, you know? And then it being something where it's like, oh, okay, that's right, you have the chainmail. Good.
Yeah. Full of surprises, Master Baggins.
Exactly.
Yeah, I felt like that. There actually felt like there were a lot of little Easter egg pop culture references in this episode. And I was just like, what? Is that a Godzilla reference? Is that a King Kong reference?
I mean, the King Kong one was pretty like...
Right, but the spines kind of moving over the rooftops felt very like Godzilla moving like through the skyscrapers, or like his spines moving over the water.
Sure, yeah. And hey, we got giant robot versus giant monster. Star Wars is basically anime now, you know?
I mean, that is true. Yeah. But all right, okay,
that's
Book
the finale.
of Boba Fett is over, and y'all, this was just a bonus reaction slot, so we will not be replacing this with anything. But yeah, thank you all for checking out this reaction and discussion. This was fun, and we've got more Star Wars now in the archive, and more coming. Like this next year, it's gonna be a lot more Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you guys have looked at the lineup, but it's pretty exciting. Some of the really exciting stuff might be 2 years out, but yeah. So all right, y'all, thank you so much for checking out this reaction and discussion. If you want to see the full-length timer version of the reaction, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, any level support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about Star Wars, about television, stories in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.